What are you doing here? This is the small council.
Yes, well, I do believe the Hand of the King is welcome at all small council meetings.
Our father is Hand of the King.
Yes, but in his absence...
Your father has named Lord Tyrion to serve as hand in his stead while he fights.
Out! All of you out!
Let's roll camera.
Take two, A and B, common mark.
Set, action.
I would like to know how you tricked father into this.
Tyrion marches directly into the small council chamber where he previously had no place and announces that he's going to be, for all intents and purposes, the acting ruler of King's Landing by his father's decree.
As it is expected, my sister Cersei does not take well to me striding in as the Hand of the King, because she wasn't informed by our father, so I'm the one that has to break the news to her.
When Tyrion comes back to King's Landing as Hand of the King, appointed by Tywin, she is not happy about that situation. Joffrey is king.
Joffrey is king.
You are here to advise him.
I'm only here to advise him.
He takes so much pleasure in stepping to that room. The chance to come in and, for the first time ever, have some power and be able to kind of shove that in Cersei's face, I think it's really fun for him.
Peter Dinklage is such a wonderful actor, and Tyrion's attitude towards being what he is this season, the Hand of the King, is so complicated and shifting. It's fun doing it with Peter because he's sort of tracking all of that. I think when he first arrives, being appointed Hand of the King is mostly just a chance to say, screw you, to his sister. And he enjoys it for that reason. But over the season, he starts to realize that he has a talent for this and that he actually enjoys it, something he never thought he would have a chance to do.
There's a lot of the relationship, the Tyrion-Cersei relationship, which is really interesting because of the hatred she has for him. And yet I believe there is a huge admiration.
Lena Headey, who plays Cersei, and I have a lot of fun scenes together this season because she's similar to Tyrion in many ways. Comes from the sort of same proud Lannister tradition. You love your children. It's your one redeeming quality, that and your cheekbones.
That's one of my favorite moments, just because they played it so amazingly well, and she just was it was so convincing in her dismay at seeing this person who's been the bane of her existence from the time she was a little girl come in and tell her that she has completely wrecked everything.
And that's, the great thing about this show is we're talking about kingdoms and war, but really it all comes down to how this guy feels about his father and how he competes with his sister. The sort of the small family things is what drives it.
We had a lot of discussion about what Tyrion would be wearing in his triumphant entrance, and we decided ultimately to put him in his armor, not because he had just come from a battle. The battle that he had just come from was weeks ago and miles away, but he's coming in there and he wants to make a statement and he wants to rattle his sister as much as he possibly can.
I think he takes a lot of pleasure in that, and also there's just, in the bigger picture, aside from the kind of petty joy in showing your sister that you're not quite as much of a ne'er-do-well as she expected, he's actually much better at this than she thought he would be, or that anyone thought he would be. And this is a time when it's incredibly important that the Hand of the King be good at his job, because they're at war, and the war is about to come home to King's Landing.
Must be odd for you to be the disappointing child.
Cut, break. Okay, cut.
Join us for the new season of Game of Thrones.
Only on HBO.
From Cox Advanced TV.
Go to the Cox Facebook page for your chance to win Game of Thrones prizes now.
Get HBO and Cinemax free for 3 months. Call now and find out how.